on this week's episode of NBA 2K TV, we show you how the best teams made it to the conference finals and how you can play like them in NBA 2K. And we also take a look at our conference finals simulation. So click on this button below. On this week's episode of NBA 2K TV, we show you how the best teams made it to the conference finals and how you can play like them in NBA 2K. And we also take a look at our conference finals simulation. So click on this button below to start the show.
Rockets here at home in this Western Conference matchup live here in Houston. Bringing you another edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg with the fourth member of our team, Doris Burke. So the Rockets win the tip. Now a chance. Courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the floor for Portland, we've got Plumlee, Damian Lillard out there with Tyreek Evans. Then it's Paul George, and it's Love in at the 4 spot.
You know, Kevin Love is not just a great rebounder. He's one of the most complete offensive players in the league. He scores down low. He can make threes. There's not much he doesn't do offensively.
Lewis attacking. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here.
Exceptional play to take the bump and still get it up and down.
Yeah, way to stay with it and look to finish the play right there.
Now, here's Lillard. In the corner, George with it. Releases. Plumlee. And stolen by Nash. Harden dishes to Lewis. And he gets it to go. Lewis has got 7 points in the game.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, I think that could really set things up well the rest of the game. Pound the ball inside and then let your perimeter players play off your bigs.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
Nash kicks to Smith. There's the pass to Harden. The feed to Lewis. It's Nash with the drive. 6 to shoot. Harden can't hit.
Well contested shot, and they did an excellent job of not fouling the shooter.
Defense is about effort and commitment and discipline. He's a good defender because of those things.
Now here's Evans. Nobody near Lillard. A three-pointer off the mark.
Tough to hit that shot when you got the defense right in your shirt.
Nash with it. Lillard picks him up. Harden has a wide open look. Another miss by Harden. Evans again. It's Kid Gilchrist. Evans goes in. And Smith with the block. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. The Rockets have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Tipped away. Lewis passes to Smith. Wow, way off on that one. Evans again. It's Kid Gilchrist. Evans kicks to Plumlee. Puts up the baby hook. That's good.
Good job there, Kevin, getting himself a little space on the inside.
Kid Gilchrist dishes to Lewis. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss. Harden against Lillard. Plumlee sets the pick for Lillard. Shot off the screen. And Love with the basket on the assist by Lillard. 8 points for Kevin Love.
Defense just has to fight over the top of those screens.
Especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, he doesn't miss too many open shots.
That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Now, here's Lillard. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot. Goes up the baseline. The shot by George, no good.
You can look at a number of areas where the Blazers improved last season. Really an outstanding year all the way around, but one area they still had trouble with was their depth. That's an area they'll look to shore up going forward.
Trailblazers have gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Back to Lillard. Can't get it to go. And Houston the other way now. Steve, depth definitely something Portland didn't feel comfortable with last year. Last in the league in bench minutes played.
And by a wide margin. I mean, not surprisingly when they were also last in bench scoring. Hard to tell which caused the other, but certainly they didn't feel as comfortable as they could have with heavy minutes from their reserves.
The shot no good. Houston's gone 0-4 from three-point land to start out. Looking cold from outside. Lewis with it. Lillard picks him up. Harden can't hit.
He's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. different look now for Portland. Mozgov, he's checked in for Plumlee. Johnson comes in for Tyreek Evans. And Kendall Marshall subbed in for Lillard. Portland leading. Now, here's Marshall. Guarded closely. 6 to shoot. Johnson with it. And it's Harden picking him up. Marshall can't hit.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
Yeah, it's a physical game, and so far the numbers show that they've got the edge on the glass.
And it's out of bounds. The Trailblazers able to retain possession here. Johnson, he's checked in for Houston.
Johnson
kicks it out to Johnson. Mozgov. And the basket by Johnson. Johnson's got his first basket.
That's some tenacity inside, battling for the second chance points.
And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets. Houston making some changes. Splitter comes in for Smith. And Jared Sullinger subbed in for Johnson. Rockets trailed by 3. Nash the pass to Harden. And he gets the bucket. James Harden Clark voted by a majority of NBA GMs last season as the #1 shooting guard in the entire league.
Really hard to argue that, Kevin. I mean, he's an elite scorer, second in the league in free throw attempts per game last season, and he's also a really, really good passer. Able to make his teammates better because he draws so much attention, and he's a crafty and willing passer.
Nash kicks to Sullinger. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. That one on Love.
Well, Jared Sullinger slipped in the 2012 draft over concerns about his back. He ended up missing the latter half of that rookie season when he had to have back surgery. Despite his health issues, when he's been on the court, he's shown a lot of promise.
Johnson kicks to Love. 6 on the shot clock. George, that's a 2-pointer. Off the left rim and out. Houston's gone 1 of 5 from downtown in the first quarter. Points out there have been hard to come by. And Sullinger with a ground-bound game. Even before his back troubles, his game is based on strength and skill.
Yeah, no question. He's got that wide frame, able to carve out space inside. You know, he's a good rebounder. He's got a soft touch. Boston really tried to help him become a three-point shooter as well last year. So he's slowly expanding his game.
Mozgov with the bucket.
You know, a team's rebounding is one of the great measures of its energy, and theirs has been terrific in the first quarter.
Yep, they were ready to go right from the opening tip.
18 feet out. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Nash has got the game tied up here for the Rockets. Marshall dishes to Love. Pass to Mozgov. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Timofey Mozgov, 7'1", a shot blocker and rebounder. Still pretty foul-prone defensively, but he has really become an interior presence.
Here's what Portland's going with right now. Nick Collison's checked in for Love. Karolinko comes in for George. And Lillard subbed in for Marshall. Houston making some changes. Johnson, he's checked in for Kid Gilchrist. Allen comes in for James Harden. And Smart subbed in for Nash. And Mozgov offensively can get you some nice second chance buckets.
Yeah, and I like the fact, Kevin, that he's a decent roll man in the pick and roll, and he can knock down the three-pointer on occasion. So, nice combination for that big guy.
Jared Sullinger.
For Houston, they have shot 1 of 3 from the line tonight, missing 2 earlier on.
Well, Jared Sullinger grew up with the game. His father was a demanding high school coach, and the word is that Jared was actually getting footwork drills at the age of 2. Shooting regulation free throws by 3. You see how strong he is, and he's got a great IQ and skill for the game.
Splitter misses. Portland's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from three-point range so far in the first. Karolinko into the lane. Lillard from outside. Lillard again missing. And Sullinger's father coaching him to a state title his junior season at Northland High School.
Yeah, Sat's one of the outstanding high school coaches in the state of Ohio. Enjoying retirement now. And, you know, the season prior to that, they'd been eliminated from the playoffs after his father, sat Jared down for failing to turn in a school assignment. And he was sending Jared a message, no shortcuts, athletically or academically. Message was received.
Absolutely. Rockets trail. The dish to Allen. Johnson outside. Smart wide open. He fires. No good from outside. Got the defender off his feet with the pump fake, but couldn't knock it down. Lillard the pass to Collison. Lillard attacking. Outside Karolinko. On the wing, Johnson. And now here's Johnson, the fast break chance. And it's Karolinko with the rebound.
It's kind of a shocker. The defense was there, but it wasn't right in his face. Kind of out of character for him to miss those.
Lillard attacking. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. And off we go, a close game now starting the second quarter. What stands out to you guys from the Trailblazers so far in this one?
And I thought they built this lead mainly because of their work on the glass. They really dominated the rebounding totals.
And it takes an effort from all 5 guys to get a rebounding advantage like that. Everybody has to rebound the ball. That's how you finish off your defense.
Portland leading. Here are the 5 Portland has to start the second quarter. Damian Lillard out there with Tyreek Evans. Then there's Kevin Love. Then there's Plumlee. And it's George in the small forward position.
The soft finger roll is just one of the many finishing moves he has in his bag of shot making.
A nice shot by Booker.
Boy, he picked him out brilliantly with that feed inside.
Evans outside. Love outside. Evans attacking. And out of bounds as the Rockets gain possession.
Well, I think that pass caught him off guard, but he showed us board hands too.
Houston making a switch here. Koufos is checked in. Out of bounds. Portland takes possession.
playing in the West can be a grind, and that's what was impressive about where the Rockets ended up. They didn't rely on their bench a whole lot. They really rode their starters.
And Lillard kicks to Love. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, Kevin Love is really a player who I think befuddles pundits because the numbers say he's a superstar, probably a top 5 player, but then he's never been to the playoffs. To that, I would simply say basketball is a team game. Individuals don't take teams to the playoffs. So despite that, there are some left wondering if his numbers are greater than his actual impact on the team. I'm not one of them.
Good on that shot, and with that, the Trailblazer lead is cut down to just 1 on the basket from Ray Allen. The shot's good from Love.
That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there. And for Love, the other reason for the skepticism, he's not a chiseled, overpowering athlete. He's not flashy. Maybe he doesn't look like a superstar, but his game speaks for itself, just the strength and the skill.
Love with the screen on Allen. And Ray Allen gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Love. Kufis grabs the miss. And one thing for sure, last season the Timberwolves were a disaster when Kevin Love went to the bench.
That's for sure, Kevin. I mean, when he was on the floor, they outscored opponents significantly. When he sat, their offense basically imploded. More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might well tell the story in this one.
Now that should tilt things toward them. They've been winning that battle.
You know, the league doesn't always update players' heights after they enter the league. Paul George, 6'10" after a late growth spurt following his rookie season in the NBA.
Allen dishes to Kufis. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty. This game's going to take a big swing. Clark, if the D continues to clear out like that and give up easy dunks.
Yeah, that's the kind of defense we expect to see in a blowout, Kevin, or even an exhibition game, not a close game like this.
Look how frustrated Steve is over here.
Well, you know what, Kevin? Come on, Kevin. I just like that he didn't choose to just lay it up there. I mean, he threw it down with force.
And Paul George with great athleticism and fluidity at his side.
Yeah, he makes it really look easy. He's a very gifted athlete, extremely quick. Not only a foot, but his hands are quick too. He's not just a scorer or defender. I mean, he's got a chance to be one of the best do-it-all players in the league as he continues to grow as a passer and ball handler. And rebounding, he's one of the best at his position right now in the league.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Kevin, Paul George has stated plainly that he hopes to post up much more often. Last season, he was basically dead last among forwards, only posting up on 5% of his possessions. He's put on muscle and developed his back-to-the-basket footwork. He said, quote, "I plan on being a lot more physical, seeking contact and finishing through it. That's my next step." He's trying to evolve, Kevin.
A good move considering his size and explosiveness, Doris. Thanks. Catching up on the changes for Houston. Lewis checked in for Kufis. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist comes in for Johnson. And it's Harden in for Allen. Now a timeout called by Houston. And during the timeout, both coaches getting a chance here to review the strategy at this point of the game, along with the discussions. Also some rehydration going on with Gatorade. Everyone trying to bring their game here tonight.
Yeah, that's why you see the trainers going around to every player, making sure they're hydrated, they're getting enough to drink during the game. And so important to hydrate yourself and keep yourself strong and ready to play for these big minutes down the stretch.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Kufis checked in for Lewis. Johnson comes in for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. And Allen subbed in for James Harden. Evans' shot is good.
Boy, you wonder what the score of this game would be if they weren't pulling down all these rebounds.
Love what I'm seeing from them in the paint.
Goes back up. A nice shot by Kufis. Kufis has got it all tied up now for the Rockets.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 baskets inside the lane. They have really established themselves inside.
Here's Roten. And yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. Roten's got his first basket.
He's fortunate that shot found the bottom of the bucket. It wasn't the highest quality look.
Really tough to get that shot off with the size differential there. It's not an individual matchup he's going to win every time, especially in the post.
Very well done. I didn't think he had any business operating down there with the big fellas.
A nice shot by Kufis.
Well, it looks like he's finally found his footing in this game. His first quarter was a real struggle, but he's gotten it going now.
And here's George for 3.
You know, even against defense as tight as that, you expect him to bury those.
I don't know. I mean, we've seen him hit those in the past, but like you said, the defender was on him like glue. It would have been quite a bucket.
Houston making a switch here. Smart's checked in.
Boy, that's some physical basketball out there. I'm glad I'm not in the middle of that. A hard pick and an assault on the bucket.
Old school stuff there.
Oh, my goodness. What a huge play.
Talk about extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, Clark, you know, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
Still, I mean, startling that he'd even try that right now. Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And, you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one.
The Rockets shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game for the Trailblazers. Nick Collison's checked in for Love. Karolinko comes in for George. And Wesley Johnson has subbed for Tyreek Evans. Marshall passes to Johnson. Just 5 to shoot. It's trailed by 3. After a 2-year absence from the playoffs, the Portland Trailblazers able to get back into it last year to face Houston in the 4-5 seeded matchup.
And they jockeyed as hard as they could to get that home court advantage, but just couldn't quite grab hold of it. Still, they were able to get by a very tough Houston team in round 1.
Collison with a screen on Allen. Johnson missing again.
And he continues to search for his rhythm. It's eluded him to this point.
Kicks it out to Allen. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
Get by Houston with an incredible shot at that, but you know, things were different when they ran into the machine known as the San Antonio Spurs in the 2nd round.
Johnson attacking. And the layup's good off the glass. And the Rockets lead by 1. In a moment here, take a look at some of the hustle stats for the Rockets.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught them off guard, playing airtight defense and coming up with the steals.
We've also seen them do a great job of not letting easy shots go into the paint. A good amount of blocks for this team so far today.
The Trailblazers have been at their finest form at the free throw line tonight. 8 attempts, 8 makes.
Well, you look at the numbers from a season ago. This team shot about 81% as a unit. Very impressive.
Yeah, they had the kind of success from the line that would make any coach breathe a sigh of relief, guys. And as you said about Portland, they just couldn't deal with the Spurs over the course of the series and ended up out after the second round. Still, a really nice showing from a young team with a lot of upside.
Passes to Goofus. It's taken away by Collison. Johnson, a wide open look. And it's off from three-point range. Nobody near Allen. A nice shot by Goofus.
He's finally starting to get it going here offensively.
Marshall with it. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Johnson in the corner. All sorts of time. The shot's good. Marshall making the play. Marshall's got 3 assists in the game. Now a timeout called by Houston.
Kendall Marshall, really kind of a strange start to his NBA career. Lottery pick in 2012, but he struggled in Phoenix. He's part of the Gortat trade, so he goes to the Wizards. They waive him. And then ultimately he catches on with the Lakers and played a big role for that team.
Houston, a whole new 5 on the floor. The Trailblazers also changing it up. Mason Plumlee's checked in for Mozgov. Paul George comes in for Andre Kirilenko. And Damian Lillard subbed in for Kendall Marshall. Smith kicks to Lewis. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And the Lakers last season ravaged by injuries. Marshall was their 6th starter at the point guard position last year alone.
Yeah, and he was a D-League call-up, Kevin. He did a pretty good job for him, though. 15 double-doubles through 54 games. I mean, I think he showed he's got a place in the league somewhere.
2 minutes remaining.
Lillard with it. And it's Harden picking him up. And then Lillard slams it in. He can fly, can he? He'll make you forget he's a point guard sometimes.
Yeah, when he does decide to attack the basket, Kevin, he can do it with the best of them.
And this is the time to attack with these two teams locked in such a close game.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
Lillard left side. Makes it off the glass. Lillard's got 8.
Well, here in the second, not as listless. They're showing some signs of life offensively.
Well, great sign, because after that poor first quarter, now they're playing better offensively, and they have the lead. Some rugged defense there against one of the stronger finishers in the game.
Collison with the screen for Lillard. 6 on the shot clock. On the wing, Johnson. George, no good.
Almost surprised that he had that much room to work with.
Nash outside. The rebound by Johnson. Portland leading. 4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. They double-team Johnson. Lillard outside. Here's Plumlee. That drops. Plumlee's got the lead up to 4 now for Portland. Harden dishes to Lewis. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Trailblazers lead by 4. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter. And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first half. Third quarter starting here now.
You know, Love is playing well. He has 15 points, and he's got 9 points from behind the arc.
Yeah, that's been an important part of his game today. He's made his open looks.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. Kevin Love really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Wow, the threes have just been dropping for him. Absolute dead-eye shooting in that first half.
Could not have been a more productive day for him from long range.
Michael Kidd-Gilchrist out there with Smith. Then it's Harden. Then it's Nash. And it's Lewis in the center, locking down the middle. That's the 5 to begin the second half for Kevin McHale. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, Kevin, Terry Stotts led the Blazers to the second round last season, and he's now in his third year with the team. He spent a couple of seasons as head coach in Atlanta and Milwaukee, but this is his longest stint and the best talent he's ever had. As Scott said, you never know if you're going to get another chance. Guys, he's certainly making the most of it.
Doing a great job. Thanks, Doris.
They are really getting the work done inside with their rebounding.
Now, not giving up too many second chance opportunities, which is always important, and that's been one of the reasons they have the lead right now.
Lillard, the pass to Love. From outside, off the mark. Rockets trailed by 6. Harden with it. Lillard picks him up. It's Harden with the drive. That's good. Harden's got 9. And we're just about 2 minutes into the second half now. And Lillard kicks to Love. Fade away. Love with another miss.
1 for 4 from the field since halftime. They're having a tough time getting it going here.
One thing with the Rockets that makes them so explosive is just how efficient they are in transition. They rarely miss out on an opportunity when they have a chance to put the defense on its heels.
Rashard Lewis.
And you know, with the Rockets, it isn't that they're getting layups. It seems more often than not they're getting and one plays on their fast breaks, and that's an extra bonus there.
Evans outside. Lillard, a screen on Nash. Evans kicks to Love. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation.
You cannot afford to make mistakes like that here in a tight game.
And it's Kidd-Gilchrist penetrating to tie. Harden, no good. Rockets knew how to convert fast break chances, as you said, Steve. It's a big part of their game.
Well, they're a terrific ball handling team top to bottom. That allows them to get anyone the ball in transition and just fill lanes. Makes converting those fast breaks a lot easier.
Plumlee sets the pick for Lillard. Love with a wide open look. Portland again missing.
And the offense continues to struggle. Just one make in their 5 attempts.
And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
I think it's time to make some adjustments defensively, Clark. I mean, what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
And Lillard kicks to Evans. to the wing right side. Lillard with no one around. And that time, also a missed shot. Smith with a screen on Lillard. Here's Lewis. Plumlee with the rebound. Plumlee's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Now here's Evans. He's got 6. And he bangs it home with one hand. And Clark and Steve, as we approach the fourth quarter, still anyone's ball game.
Yeah, exactly right, Kevin. I mean, these teams just simply keep trading baskets, and as a result, trading the lead.
Yeah, neither side really able to create much of a cushion at all. So, which team can make a little run here? We'll see.
Portland trailing here. Lillard outside. Plumlee sets the pick for Lillard. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Kid Gilchrist. Moving it up. Got a piece of it. And now Portland on the break. Outside, George. To the inside. Harden inside the three-point line. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. And now a 3-point Rocket lead. And taking a quick look here, guys, at the hustle stats for the Rockets.
Boy, defensively, they've played with a high energy level, guys, and all the steals we've seen, really a result of that aggressiveness.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. I mean, they've really run the break well.
Michael Kidd Gilchrist, second overall pick back in 2012. And Clark, as you know, an NCAA champion. You saw his game with Kentucky.
Yeah, you know, I like his disposition, and I love his motor. I mean, his defense, his size, athleticism. He's an excellent rebounder for his position and size. He can defend up to 3 or 4 positions on the court. You know, you look at him, and I don't like to compare guys, Kevin, but, you know, he reminds me a bit of a young Gerald Wallace type.
Looking at who's out there now for the Rockets. Splitters checked in for Lewis. And Sullinger subbed in for Jason Smith. Portland also making some changes. Mozgov, he's checked in for Plumlee. Johnson comes in for Tyreke Evans. And it's Marshall in for Lillard.
They have got to put a body on him, because otherwise, with his agility and athleticism, they're not going to be able to contain him on the offensive glass.
And for Kid Gilchrist, the knock has always been about his outside shooting ability. You know, his shot has a big hitch in it. He shoots it on the way down, so there's a lot of fundamental issues with that stroke.
And Marshall kicks to Johnson. Shot clock at 6. The 3 from George. George missing again.
Boy, I tell you what, the complexion of this game would be completely different if he'd shot the ball anything like he's capable of.
And here's Love. He's got 15. Johnson with it. Guarded now by Nash. Outside, George. Clock at 6. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. Misses at the rim.
Boy, you look at that shooting motion for MKG. Boy, that thing is broke at this point. It's going to be hard for him to fix it, but I think he can. I think it's still not beyond being modified. If that happens, the sky's the limit. He just turned 21, so he's got a chance to get that jumper right.
Harden. good, and the assist goes to Nash. Now it's a 7-point Rocket lead.
He's really done a nice job taking advantage of his opportunities in this half.
James Harden with the most famous beard in the NBA. In fact, he leaves his barber in charge of trimming it, so you can give him all the credit, or maybe the blame, depending on how you look at it.
Over in the corner, Marshall. Outside, George.
Look out. Watch out now.
And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, some coaches might want to see just a sure-handed lay-in, but I say put as much as you can on the finish and get your teammates going.
And Harden are relatively quiet to me. Some of them said no, but clearly he's embraced his new leading role in Houston.
And he said as much himself. He looks at the Rockets as his team, and you can see it in his demeanor on the court. With that leadership comes responsibility, and I think he's ready to continue to step into that. You know, there's always a little hesitation with newly formed, star-loaded teams. We wondered if the Rockets would click early last year. They did, and ended up with the 4 seed out west.
Now a timeout called by Portland.
Keep it going for your Rockets power dancers.
The Rockets made it in as the 4th seed last year, but still couldn't find a way past Portland in the first round. It ended up falling to them in 6 games.
Houston, a whole new 5 on the floor. The Trailblazers also changing it up. Nick Collison's checked in for Love. Evans comes in for George. And Lillard subbed in for Kendall Marshall. Really, though, it was the start of that series that sunk the Rockets as they dropped the first 2. They fought back, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, they couldn't overcome that poor start, Kevin. They did fight back, and it looked like a Game 7 was on the way, but then Damian Lillard, one of the great shots in NBA playoff history, closed things out in dramatic fashion.
Brought you right out of your chair, didn't it?
Oh, big
Wow.
time. That was a great, great shot he made.
There's Mozgov. And he drew the blocking foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
Check out the game for Mozgov. 8 rebounds, and 4 of his points have come at the foul line. He's made the most of those opportunities.
Which can't be undervalued, Clark. So many times a game can come down to which team wins the free throw battle.
Allen for 3. Allen with another miss. Collison with the screen for Lillard. Battles through traffic and lays it in. Lillard's got 13.
You know, the height difference there is huge, but he canceled it out with great body control in the air.
Exactly, Steve. He got to the hoop and wouldn't allow himself to be manhandled by the big boy.
Pass to Smart. Lets it go with a 3. And he gets it to go. He has 5.
That is not an easy shot right there. He had to get it off over a taller defender.
A little bit of a rainbow 3, but like you said, it had to be with the size mismatch.
Back to Lillard. Shot clock at 5. And he can't answer back. The 3-pointer offline. Nobody near Allen. Again, Allen missing. The Trailblazers shooting 43% for the game. Johnson attacking. And he jams it with authority.
He is an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
You know, he fixed the simple one-handed stuff to get the 2 points.
And those could be an important 2 points, too, guys, in a close game like this one.
I'm not sure about that shot, guys. The defense really all over.
And he can't get the first one. he sinks the second. 12 seconds left here in the third quarter. Nobody near Allen. Again, Allen missing. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Trailblazers out in front. They lead by 3. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are. The fourth quarter is coming up next. Rockets trail by 3. And on the floor for Portland here in the fourth. They've got Paul George. Kevin Love out there with Plumlee. Then there's Tyreke Evans. And it's Lillard in at the 1. Kufis has gotten about everything to drop here. Shooting 6 of 7. George with the ball. Out guarded by Smart. Lillard with no one around. Yes. The shot's good on the assist by George. 16 points for Lillard.
Portland climbed the ladder out in the West last year because they were very tough against the rest of the conference, especially in close games.
31 wins for the Blazers against the rest of the West last year. Extremely impressive. And as you said, they were able to get a lot of close games to go in their favor.
And if you look at this roster and what they did last year, it's not a surprise, Steve. They gutted out wins in close games.
Yeah, they have so many players that can step up and hit the big shot that when you have a chance of hitting a game winner, you have to think Portland will pull it off.
And it looks to me like he still has some of the shooting touch that he displayed in the first.
Here's Kufis. And good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points.
I'll tell you what, he's enjoyed a very good day shooting the ball so far. He can bring them right back into this.
Just over a minute and a half played here in the fourth. 6 to shoot. Here's Lillard. Oh, look out.
Wow. And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
Those are phenomenal dunks to watch. So much fun.
Portland leading by 5. George up top. He's guarded by Johnson. And George kicks to Lillard. The shot's good on the assist by George. And that's now 21 points for Lillard.
You can really see that his confidence is at a high level here in this half. He didn't have a 3 in the first.
And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Evans dishes to Love. Some nice ball movement here by the Trailblazers. And that's Evans penetrating. Kicks it out to Lillard. 4 on the clock. No good. Nobody near Allen. That doesn't go either for Allen.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Dishes to Love. Back to Lillard. And the Trailblazers getting another bucket right there.
How about raising his game here in the fourth quarter? Missing just 1 of his 5 attempts so far.
Johnson the screen. And it's sent back by Plumlee. Allen. And another shot. That one's in there. The Trailblazer lead is cut down to just 6 points, and the bucket from Johnson. Outside, George. Lets it go from deep. Goes up again. Here's Plumlee. Here's Booker. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That one on Love. And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from here for the Trailblazers.
Guys, their play close to the hoop has been great all game.
And they're getting so much penetration on the defense that they're getting a lot of easy buckets as a result of breaking down that defense.
Now a timeout called by Portland.
Well, the season before this last one, the Trailblazers really struggled to get help from their bench. Didn't get